Okay, this is not concerning a certain dogma. This is not concerning a certain political party. It's not concerning any of those divisive tools. Now, yes, I am very spiritual. Otherwise, I would be doing this. We need to create heaven on earth. And unfortunately, we are up against some very evil, dark people who have been trying to create hell on earth, a dystopian future. Do you want that for yourself? Do you want that for your children? I don't want that for any human being on this entire planet, which is why I am motivated to create this channel to help educate so that we can unite as we should have long ago as one against the elite, against the Illuminati, whatever name you want to call them, the 13 families, the Jesuits, secret societies like Skull and Bones and Knights Templar and Knights of Malta. Could go on and on. It doesn't really matter what you call them. But they are dark forces, and we are here for the light. I am here as a high frequency of pure love and pure peace in heart and soul to try to manifest heaven on earth. So I'll help you understand how that manifestation works. And you'll start putting together the pieces of the puzzle as to why our reality is the way it is, to why our matrix, this system that was created around us, is the way it is. And you will begin to understand why, even though many of them mean well, the podcasters all out there that warn us of what's to come around the corner are actually helping manifest this hell. They're actually helping manifest this dystopian future by doing so. Now, I believe that most of them are not trying to do that. I just don't think that they understand how manifestation works. And so hopefully with these videos, you can get to them. Send them these videos. I beg of you, please, so that they can watch these videos and understand the direction that they have headed the minds and the hearts of humanity, which is just helping them march straight towards George Orwell 1984. You know, you could say Soylent Green, A Brave New World, whichever movie of dystopia you want to paint that picture. That's why they have done so. And I'll further explain that. Why did they have to buy the Associated Press and Reuters back in the 1800s? Why do they want to control Hollywood? Why did they create it in the first place? Why do they call it Hollywood? You know, that's the reason why in our language, in English, now when I say our, I apologize to anyone out there who has a first language of any of the hundreds of other languages on this planet. Beautiful, beautiful languages, much more beautiful than English. But in English, they call it spelling because it casts spells. Now, please go do your own research on that. There's lots of information out there on that. But we are talking about the occult. We are talking about witchcraft and not the good kind, okay? So don't get that messed up there. You know, there's the witches that were burned were good witches. Okay, so I'm only talking about what's been used to create darkness, to create evil. Okay, not to create light. Now, it's easy to get it twisted. So let me try to clarify how it works. it is actually the same energy that is the catalyst for such. Okay? So when someone is working with this type of energy, now a very beautiful word for this energy, my favorite, is chi, C-H-I. Okay? Some people have called it vril, V-R-I-L, but that has a bad connotation because the Vril society was a society that was deeply involved with Adolf Hitler and the Nazis and all of that occultism. Now, they were just using the energy for darkness, much like the symbolism that they used was a beautiful symbol before that. Now, did anything change with the symbol? When it was Hindu, what did it mean? Go look that up. Because for thousands of years before Hitler, that symbol was a beautiful symbol, meaning beautiful things. So it was more about sacred geometry, these symbols. So sacred geometry, numerology, all of these things, they could just be used for good or bad. Okay, so people get all crazy about 666. Well, we have carbon, nitrogen, so what elements are they talking about with 666? So was it a bad thing always? Or was it a good thing and then somebody bad used it for darkness? See what I'm saying? This is part of the indoctrination we need to just flush out of our brains. It's not easy to do. Our brains want to protect itself. It wants to be in denial, and we call this cognitive dissonance. Okay? We have to let go of fear, all fear. You have to be willing to surrender yourself completely. Empty out your mind. Or Bruce Lee said, empty your mind. Be water, my friends. Water can crash, it can flow. If it goes into a cup, it becomes the cup. You can go check out that interview on YouTube. But Bruce is right. Be water, my friend. Okay, we need to have flexibility here in order to understand why everything is and why that they are leading you down, marching you down this path towards this dystopian future, which, by the way, most of you won't even be a part of. Why is that? Because most of you will be dead. If that's what you choose to manifest, right? You won't if you follow what I am going to be telling you. And we manifest heaven on earth. A heaven on earth that could have a population of billions and billions of more people, where people actually own land, or go even beyond that. Now, I need to go step by step, because if I jump forward, it may be too much for you. So let's crawl before we walk here. So let's get back to manifestation and the Illuminati. So one way to control the people's minds is through fear. It's a very simple way to do it. You put the human being into fear, a state of fear, and their entire being changes. They are extremely vulnerable when they are in a state of fear because they are in the flight or fight mode. Now you can go look up all the scientific information on what happens to the body when they are in fight and flight. So fight or flight, you're going to all of a sudden have huge problems with your immune system because it basically shuts down. Well, what if you're in the fight or flight mode consistently? for weeks, months, years? Sounds a little familiar lately, doesn't it? Well, gosh, if people would be really, they would be vulnerable to all kinds of illness and sickness, to cancer, especially. If the immune system can't protect you, then you're open up to all sorts of things. So I'm not going to get into that much. Okay, that's at nauseum all over the place. There's plenty of information. Whether you're for or against what they're doing health-wise, um, you'll learn that they don't care about your health at all. Government entities never have. Okay, so we need to create a heaven on earth where we have technologies where no one is sick. Should we not already have that? What has happened the last 70 years or more? I mean, we had the nuclear bomb and rocket technology, and apparently we went to the moon in 1960. So what happened? Now, I'm not going to get into any theories on that kind of stuff. It's just that the technology all of a sudden didn't just come to almost a screeching halt. They have technologies beyond your wildest dreams. They have the most important technology that would completely change the human civilization as we know it. This is what we need to manifest. Disclosure of these technologies. You can go ahead and go research all of this. You can research the Invention Secrecy Act. Have you ever heard of that? Why would there be such a thing? What is it about? Well, there are certain inventions that would benefit all humanity that have been confiscated. These people have been thrown into prison. They have been scared out of their wits. Some of them have been killed. These inventions are then shelved, locked, stored away. They're worked on deep underground at places like Lockheed Skunk Works, Boeing Phantom Works, but that's just the surface of it. Now, these types of companies, corporations, they don't have the transparency that a governmental corporation, not that they have much transparency, but they get away with a lot more if they're corporations, of course. So when you have Lockheed Skunk Works, you have compartmentalization that goes beyond your wildest imagination. However, there are people in the know, and there are people who grow a conscience and whistleblow. And thank goodness for those people. So we have information, and there's arrogance too. So we have people who have slipped up, like Ben Rich of Lockheed Skunk Works, the director. His last speech said, "We have technology beyond your wildest dreams, and we can take ET home." And one of the people in the crowd went up to him afterwards, and while he was walking away, and please, 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 tell me, what do you mean by we can take ET home and we have that type of technology? And said, well, he's like, how does it work? Ben Rich looked at him and said, well, do you know how ESP works? All points in the universe all connect in one. It was something to that extent, but basically talking about the holographic universe and omnipresence, that this is a hologram. And once you have that technology, then you can travel anywhere instantaneously. But I digress, because that's not even what's necessary right now in order to create heaven on earth. It's the Zero point energy technology. That's the key. Because climate change is gone. Once the people know about zero point energy technology, climate change is done. Global warming, done. You can't argue with that stuff anymore. Once that technology is out, which they've had over 70 years, 70, that's a 7 and a 0 years, then you could have energy anywhere, everywhere, on the planet, off the planet, unlimited, forever, for free. What would that do to the world economic system if that got out? These people that are in power with the financial central banking system, these people in power where it's all based on oil for the most part, based on these things we dig out of the ground for energy. I mean, even solar is a joke. It's great. It comes from our star. That's cool. But what are the solar panels made from, right? Look at the windmills. How are they made? What's how much fossil fuel? It's not fossil fuel, by the way, because they're not made from fossils. But just so you understand the terminology, and you're familiar with that. But we really shouldn't be saying that anymore as far as those types of fuels, because they never were fossil. The oil, they actually go down to 30,000 feet, and fossils don't go beyond 10,000 feet. But I digress. So all that wiped out, the whole energy, all of your local grid. Think about that. Your local energy company wiped out. You have a little box right outside your home, in your home, whatever, that you could run your AC all the time, or your heat if you're in a cold place all the time, whatever you want. But see, think about the third world countries. Think about what that would do for them. People who don't have a pot to piss in. That's who I think about day in and day out. I think about these people. They need energy. Above everything else, they need energy so they can have clean water, so they can have clean food, nutritious food. They can grow food. We can grow food underground. We don't have to worry about, well, what was the problem back in the day, and still is a problem. They worry about grasshoppers and bugs and eating your food. Oh, okay, well, let's spray tons of pesticides on them to try to take care of that, and let's genetically modify them. And well, really what we're doing is we're also poisoning all the human beings on Earth, and we're calcifying their pineal glands and all this stuff, right? Well, you can grow organic food underground, but I haven't even gotten to the technology where we don't even need to do that. They have that. They have that. But let's stick with free 0 point energy right now. Desalination plants is just one example where they're always talking about it's too expensive. Well, why? Because of the energy required. Well, what else is expensive? Automation. Okay, so if you have unlimited energy, what do you do about automation? You can automate everything. You can automate everything. Oh, wait a minute. So now the people are not going to be enslaved with a job. They can actually spend more time, be flexible with their hours. They can actually spend time with their loved ones, go do stuff they enjoy doing, read more books, become more aware consciously. What would happen to the world? Imagine if the literacy rate went to 100% in the entire world. Imagine if every single human being was given the same opportunities for education in the entire world. Think about that. Imagine if you had a med bed, which is a type of frequency healing technology, and you could heal anything in 5 minutes. anything. Imagine that. Bye-bye pharmaceuticals. Bye-bye the medical system. But you don't need it anymore. You see, we have been indoctrinated our entire lives to believe that we have to have a job, that we have to pay bills, that we have to pay taxes. We've been indoctrinated that we are a good little patriot if we do so. How foolish of us. Now, I will absolutely go with the argument that without these technologies, you still have to have a monetary system. You still have to have capitalism in a way. You have to have a barter system, right? I mean, that's really what truly created the monetary system. We all know this. If you don't, you can go research that. If you make blueberry pies, not everybody even has the skill, by the way. But if you can create a blueberry pie, not everybody wants a blueberry pie, so you can't go trade blueberry pies and get whatever you want. So of course, eventually, someone decided that okay, well, gold is everyone understands gold has this value. So we'll trade in gold, and everybody wants your gold, so then you can get whatever you want as long as you have the gold. And then people were stealing the gold because it's physical pieces of gold, and it's hard to carry because it's heavy and stuff. So it's like, okay, well then the bankers said, aha, now I got a scheme I figured out where I can write them an IOU or a piece of paper, and that was the first money that was created. So, but you can look all of that kind of stuff up, right? So, you could say, hey, it's not a bad thing, right? In the beginning, but eventually things happened, and please go research all of that. Please research the Federal Reserve System and stuff. But see, you just do enough so you have awareness, but we don't want to get too much into that stuff because it's becoming too late, where we need to just focus on this manifestation of heaven on earth. Everyone needs to be talking about zero-point energy technology. Why are our politicians never talking about it? Okay, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm not left or right or any of that kind of stuff, way above the duopoly. And the way that I see the duopoly is how it works is that it's like a sine wave. You bounce from one side to the other side, one side to the other side. Okay, so the left make it so unbearable that then the right gets voted in next, and then the right make it so unbearable, then the left get voted in next, and it's ping pong, ping pong. And it's just like a sine wave sliding up, like the Kundalini behind me, going upwards. To what? To what end? Is it by design? Yeah, well, it's not rocket science. So they've used this tactic, this duopoly, this bipolar tactic, ping pong, of all of you to get to an end that is not for any of you. It's for them. But we're going to stop that. We are going to have the World Ascension Forum. Okay? Not the World Economic Forum, not Klaus Schwab. We're going to have the World Ascension Forum. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be absolutely mind-blowing, beautiful, beyond your wildest imagination. Because not only are we going to have zero-point energy technology, all endless technology, all the energy that you could possibly ever use, full automation of all human labor, medbed technology with frequency healing so that you can heal whatever ailment you have within minutes. Even reconstructive type of surgery where there's Um, shouldn't even use the word surgery, because it would just be able to grow an arm if you lost a limb, right? Things like that. You've seen some of this stuff, because they will throw out some like little teeny bits of the possibility of what could be in the future in some of these movies, because they control Hollywood. And that way they go, ha ha, you know what? If we showed you that there is a possibility, but you allowed us to march you right down towards the dystopian path to manifest the dystopia, and that's on you. That's the way that their ethics, how their brain thinks, apparently, is that as long as they show you what they're going to do beforehand, then it's not on them, that the karma is on you. Now, whether that's true or not, actual and universal law, I have no idea, but that's what they think. And that's all that really matters right now, is that that's what they think, that's their plan, and we need to do the opposite. So please go look up Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, research about all of these things, and understand that sustainability, they're starting to show it to you now. There's actually a video just came out regarding Saudi Arabia. They want to put people in skyscrapers. They want to stuff you like sardines. They want to take away your land. They want to take away all of your freedom. Of course. No, they've already been doing it in China, the social credit system. Oh, you've been a bad boy, bad girl. You're saying the wrong things. You don't talk about your government like that. Your government loves you. You're supposed to worship your government, like North Korea, right? So if you don't, you're going to be punished. We're going to take away your means of to eat and to buy things. Well, look, I am definitely not into Christianity. I think Christ is amazing, and Christ consciousness is amazing, but what I will say is that about the Bible is that they do have in there about the mark of the beast, and they do have, definitely some truth in that book. Um, so you have to read between the lines. And the mark of the beast is a real thing, and it's the here and now. It's been in China already. That's what they want to do. Agenda 21, sustainability. That's all. They put us in high rises. Okay, they will only allow us to go on these really fast trains, maglev probably trains or something like that, between cities, but we can just look out the window. We can't go out into the forest anymore. That's for the elite. That's not for us anymore. When there's only 500 million left of us, right? Well, okay, I've said enough there, because there you can find a million YouTube videos that talk all about the Georgia Guidestones and all of their goals. But we are not going to manifest that. No, you and I, we're going to manifest heaven on earth. We need to talk about 0 point energy, and we need to talk about it like it's happening. It's being disclosed. We are going to have a Star Trek utopia. We need to manifest this. We have to put all of this in our thoughts. Forget the fear. The fear is over. Stop doing what they're telling you to do. Do not comply. You need to believe that you will yourself be living in a flying saucer. You could travel wherever you want instantaneously. You want to go to Paris for lunch? Go to Paris for lunch. You'll be right back instantaneously. Want to go take a dip in Tahiti, in one of those beautiful lagoons? Check out a waterfall? Be back for dinner? You could do that. What do you mean, be back for dinner? Wait a minute, where is back? If my flying saucer is my home, then I can be anywhere. I can be 1,000 feet above the earth and have the most majestic view ever. You would never need another road, except for bicycles, I guess. People who love bicycles, I know. But an actual road for cars, you won't need a freeway, you won't need parking lots, for crying out loud. No more parking lots. Once we control gravity, and they've been controlling gravity for over 70 years, okay? Think about the other technologies they have, like, here's a big one, atomic replication printing. What is that? That means you can print anything you want out of thin air using the atomic blueprint. That's right. That's the type of technology they have. That means that we don't need natural resources anymore. Think about that. What are wars fought over? What's all this stealing going on? What's all this killing going on? What's happened to Africa? Good God. It's because of natural resources. Well, we don't need those anymore. We can create whatever we want out of thin air. Now, I will get into what humans are going to do with their time in the next video, because that is always some concern, and that's part of our indoctrination we have to flesh out. We are not our careers. We are not our jobs. We are so much more than that. And without that fear and that burden, we're going to be able to blossom and find our true talents and do what we absolutely passionately love to do. So why don't you hold that thought and stay tuned. And once again, please subscribe, like, and share it everywhere. Now you can understand, you're starting to understand, this is for you. This is for everyone on this planet. Except for the elite. They're not going to like this that much, but that's okay. We have the power. We've always had the power. Unfortunately, we gave them too much power. But in a heartbeat, we can take it away. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.